Yeah, it's Red Bull Ring. It's wet, it's soaking, it's awful conditions today. And the drivers of the Infinity GT Manufacturer Series have got a bit of a handful in terms of navigating what is tonight their Group 4 machinery around this positively sodden racetrack. Sorry, I'm smashing keys of all sorts. Doing it again. Come on, Chris, get your bloody act together. Why don't you bloody hell? I'm going all Yorkshire. That works. What the freaking hell's going on? Oh. What the hell is happening? Right. Bing. So this is just practice, this is just the guys smashing it around, but these are the conditions we're going to have tonight. Facing you is a, I think it's a relatively short qualifying session. I want to say, from memory, it's 10 minutes. And then we have a 50-minute race. It's going to be a bit of a race of attrition, this one. If you can keep your car pointing the right way, plod those laps in, not get involved in too much spinny Nikita Mazepin style driving, you should pick up a good result here. It is definitely not easy though to do all those things, as a few of us have found out quite recently. Hi YouTube, Twitch, whatever. Hello, Dave Fabric says hello to anyone that might be watching, which is positively nobody at the minute, because I've only just put the link out there. That's loud. Let me turn this down a little bit. Right. Sorry, that actually deafened me. That did. P-Gib, you're racing in this, aren't you? Since when did that show up? I mean, I know you've got experience of this track because we raced it on Friday in the exact same conditions. Not a packed grid. 11 drivers, yeah, 11 drivers I think tonight. No, fair enough, man. Fair enough, you should enjoy it. There's a bit more strategy to this. I mean, Red Bull Ring not as much strategy on the basis of relaxed tyre rules and probably a little bit less pressure in terms of, what's the word? In terms of actually having to pit. As you know, you can stretch the wets quite long, so, and you're going to be short shifting anyway. I would imagine quite a lot of drivers are likely to be running quite high fuel maps for this. It's mostly pointless running fuel map 1 a lot of the time. You might as well knock it down a few pegs, save the wheel spin you'll get, and it's not really going to affect your lap time too much. We'll see what the guys decide to do though, but I would expect pretty straightforward strategies, and a lot of fuel saving being the order of the night. But this is qualifying, so none of that daft stuff. This is just who can string the best lap together in the next 8 minutes or so. So outlaps are done. The drivers have been preparing the tyres for the outlap, trying to generate some heat into those, which in the wets is a bit of an ordeal, to be fair. The wets don't hold their heat very well. Not that they necessarily need to, but any drivers that are on the intermediate should immediately have better traction. But those tyres don't cope with standing water too well, so they may just have to adapt the line a little bit more. The guys on wets don't really have to bother too much. They struggle with tyre temp. So anyone that tuned into the stream last night will have seen my coverage of Lago Maggiore. You will have seen some good racing in that one. It was a bit more of a strategic battle. The result from Fubuki. Unfortunately for KB, had a, let's just say, technical glitch. He was doing exceptionally well in the car he dislikes, and he had a bit of a technical glitch to contend with. Really, really close to the end of the race as well. But do watch out for those Mercedes. At the McLaren, I have personal experience from, and for some reason the McLaren just doesn't seem to like it. Fubuki's revving that car out quite a lot as well. You normally shorter shift the McLaren route for, but he's revving it out quite a lot, which you don't necessarily have to do. So let's see what the sort of times are. So 1:45's probably going to be the pole time for this one. The first laps probably won't be that quick on the basis of high fuel loads. 47.7 for Fubuki, 47.1 for Total Rose, 46s for Equal Pants and B-rated KB also in the 46. Club Adams in the 48, and the Aston Martin Deno puts a 46.9 in as well. Fat Pickles 46.7, Rick with a 48.1. So your early pole sitter is KB, but there's plenty of opportunity for that time to change, given the as the fuel starts to burn away during the qualifying session, the times should get a fair bit faster. So I'm just making sure that's set up. P-Gib gets on the board, 48.6 for P-Gib. Of course, just jumping in, lastminute.com is P-Gib tonight, so in the Ferrari, the only Ferrari on track. He's got some figuring out on the go to do tonight as P-Gib. A lot of these drivers already completed 2 rounds of the championship. This is round 3. They will have already been out in these cars at Catalunya. They've had a bit of an idea as how they drive, what the sort of pace is. The Mercedes showing great pace there. The McLaren also doing an exceptional job. The Citroens did fall away a little bit in that one, and the BMWs had great race pace. Not so fantastic in qualifying, but in the race really strung it together. You are looking at KB as he rounds the final corner now. He was purple sector 2, poised to go into the 45s, gets a good little toe, but just unfortunately I think just taps. He does go into the 45s, a 45.9 then for KB in the end, so puts himself 7 tenths clear at the top of the timing sheet, just ahead of B-rated. B-rated was the car he was tangled with. A little bit of lag kicking in there for the Citroen. Fat Pickles Bro puts it in P3 in the Aston Martin. Will have been fighting that car all along. The car, for some reason, that is just what's gone on there. Who's that? Oh, that was Total Rose. Just parked off track, having the nuts off it. Right, where was I going? So yeah, KB quite clear at the top. P-Gib does improve his time. Yeah, we've got B-rated P2, Fat Pickles well P3, LS Deno in the other Mercedes, 8.5 tenths off his teammate at the moment. So the Valtteri Bottas needs to get that Mercedes up a couple of positions, and we've got Equal Pants in the BMW. Strong performance from the BMW team so far, locking out that third row of the grid in 5th and 6th. Total Rose quite a bit behind his teammate, to be fair, at the minute, but early days in qualifying, he's got a chance for another couple of laps. Are they on the same tyre? They are on the same tyre, but it is tricky conditions out there, so one little mistake will cost you a ton of time. Fubuki, though, surprised of the qualifying session at the minute. Does he manage to improve on his 47.5? He's 1.6 seconds off pole at the moment. This is a car that is normally at the sharp end of the field. Can he improve on that time? It's going to be an improvement, but it only puts him up to P8 and just lifts him above P-Gib. So the McLaren does struggle for pace around here. Whether he can do any better, again, it's a race of attrition. If he can just keep mistake free, those results should come in the race. Equal Pants, though, in the BMW does improve. He goes up to P2 with 46.5. Shuffles B-rated down to the second row of the grid. And importantly as well, shuffles LS Deno down another spot on the grid as well. Still 6 tenths off KB's time. We've got P Gibb in the Ferrari then, a 47.6. Is this lap going to be an improvement on that? He can shuffle himself a little bit further up as well with an improved time. Is an improved time, actually 4.5 tenths off, puts him up to P7, puts him ahead of Total Rose and Fabuki. They're two excellent drivers, and we've got Rick in P10 in the Honda, and Adam in the other Aston Martin, just struggling at the moment with the wet conditions. 47.8 so far is Adam's contribution to qualifying, but KB is your current qualifying leader, is out on the intermediate tyre. Down on this lap, so he's not going to improve this time round. If they will get a chance for another lap. Just grab my trusty controller. This is a high production thing here. Pilo was up as well. Where's Pilo? Pilo's just come around the penultimate corner now. We will get look at the bottom left hand corner. If anyone improves, you'll see it there. Pilo was as Fabuki finally 46.1 puts in P2. Pilo goes P4 with a 46.6. B-rated gets himself back up there as well. So does LS Deno. So Pilo for a brief moment was on the second row of the grid. Now he's shuffled back down to P6, but Fabuki finally arrives on the scene. 46.1. That must have been a mighty lap from the McLaren driver. 2 tenths off KB's time, and he is going personal best sector 1. Must have just got those tyres into a good workable window. Like I said, those wet tyres take a few laps just to really start working. Obviously combined with the lower fuel. Last lap then for all these guys. We'll see what they've got to offer. B-rated P3. P Gibb actually goes into the 46s, puts himself in 5th in the Ferrari. So P Gibb at the moment, times are tumbling. It's track evolution. Oh, he's spun it though. He's done a P Gibb coming out the first corner. So that's P Gibb's qualifying over, unfortunately, as all the drivers now stream round to make one final attack. We'll get a good idea as they're about to break the timing beam for sector 2, and it's Fabuki that is purple. The McLaren driver is poised here for a great lap if he can just nail 2 more corners. Easier said than done. These are 2 very tough corners. This one, a downhill braking zone. You need to really hook the apex up, get the exit right, don't run too far wide. That was just about perfect then from Fabuki. Timey downshifts, run the apex on the inside, gets a little bit of oversteer on the exit. He's got a 45.9 to beat, and he does beat it. 45.7. Can KB do anything about that? Ickle Pants does improve. KB does improve as well. KB goes pole by 800ths of a second. Does shuffle Fabuki down off that top spot. B-rated improves. So does Ickle Pants. So does Pilo. Every driver improving that lap. Every single driver improved that last lap, apart from Fat Pickles was about the only driver that didn't put an improved time in, so Total Rose as well. So your grid then, as we just run down the order, this might just cut out in a moment by the way, but KB is your pole sitter with Fabuki in P2, B-rated and Ickle Pants make up row 2 of the grid. BMWs with a great showing, Pilo and P Gibb, battle of the P's on row 3, 2 P's in a pod, some may say. Then you've got LS Deno. He'll be disappointed with that, given his teammate was on pole. Nearly a second separates the 2 Mercedes drivers in the buyer parcel, but he will be looking for a good start as he lines up alongside Fat Pickles Bro. Then we've got Total Rose and Rick with Adam 93 in the Aston Martin. So the Aston Martins struggling in qualifying, but we may see that turnaround in the race. Again, it's a race of attrition, this one. It is a case of whoever can just keep the calm with the conditions. We've got 50 minutes of this. Sorry, I'm just having a bit of my protein shake. I forgot to drink it. So here we go then, 50 minutes set to the timer. We're ready for the lights here at Spielberg, Austria. The revs rise, the drivers get underway then for round 3 of the Infinity GT Manufacturers Series in association with WeAreDriven. Fabuki gets a great start, immediately leapfrogs KB. I can see Deno in the background weaving, but they're nearly 3 wide then going into turn 1 between B-rated, Ickle and potentially even Pilo as well. The other P is getting absolutely swallowed up by the Mercedes, potentially Total Rose looking for a move as well, but it's going to be slipstream heaven all the way up to turn 3 then, as KB gets that position back from Fabuki. And it's LS Deno, the mover and shaker of the first round, as he tries to slide up the inside of the BMW. Is he going to claim P4 coming down towards the downhill braking zone? I'm not sure at the minute. Fat Picklesbro has been the loser from the opening phase of the race. I'll go through what tyres people are in a moment as well. Looks like the BMW of Ickle is just about holding on at the moment, although he has just ran a little bit wide there. Might choose to just go back and have a look at that. Unfortunately, the BMWs that did get off to a promising start ultimately have lost out to Total Rose in the Citroen, who that Citroen does usually really start well. Currently running in 3rd and 5th. Quite a well suited car to the rain conditions though. That's KB, the German driver. Will be looking for a better slice of luck from his race today. 2 technical issues in the opening 2 rounds have blighted results for the prospective champion, a man many people at the start of the season said would waltz this, but he has been pushed every step of the way by his compatriots. Fabuki, Ickle, Pilo, TKM Spadders as well, but he's not here tonight, which is of course rather unfortunate. What else have we got going on then? So we've got 2 Aston Martins moving to the rear of the field. We've got the Mercedes and the McLaren just starting to pull a little bit of a gap then over B-rated. LS Deno has got that 4th position. He's a great start from LS Deno. He really just, I mean, that group from Mercedes does start well anyway. He just tends to squat down off the start line, even in the wet weather conditions. He's put a set of full wets on there, so the 2 Mercedes drivers going with opposite contra strategies then. KB, the more aggressive intermediate tyre, should in theory have a shorter tyre life against drivers driving the full wet tyre. So KB, Pilo, Ickle, Rick, Adam, all on the intermediate tyre. Fat Picklesbro up on the back of the grid, all the way to P8 then, the Aston Martin driver, now giving Rick 33 GTR something to chase as he starts to just try to reel in the BMWs of Pilo and Ickle up ahead. The 2 BMWs will just want to work together. They won't want to give each other any hassle. They do typically have good teamwork, but they also typically have contra strategies. But it's interesting to see them both take the same tyre from the start. The Mercedes at least giving themselves some options. So the BuyAParcel.com racing team coming into this round may well have just wanted KB to just get a leapfrog right out the gate, really, using that intermediate tyre, which does get up to temperature a lot quicker than the wet. The wet will come good. Probably by about lap 4, that tyre will start to just get a heat cycle through it, and you will start to see that working a lot better. The intermediate already should be roughly in about its operating window already. That's probably part of the reason why some of the drivers on the wet tyres just starting to struggle a little bit for pace. Pilo and Ickle using the intermediates then are starting to chase down the drivers in 4th and 5th respectively, which got great starts. Well, every now and again just want to take a sip. P-Gib down in 11th in the Ferrari. Didn't have a great lap 2. Not too sure what happened for P-Gib. Of course, he's come into this with absolutely no practice. This is a blind taste test for P-Gib. Actually drafted in last minute. The Nico Hulkenberg of the series just drafted in to fill a seat. Race driven at this very circuit, in these very conditions, not more than a few days ago. And he will know all about the tricky conditions that you can face at the Red Bull Ring when the rain falls. So the drivers just started to settle into the rhythm. They should have all come into this, apart from P-Gib obviously, with some sort of predetermined plan. In terms of rules for the series, the drivers will have to pit, more because there's no way on God's green earth they can stretch the fuel all the way to the end of the race. They will probably take a fresh set of tyres at that time as well, because I'd imagine by the time the pit stops come round we will start to see some tyre deg. Although the wets and the intermediates don't wear anywhere near as fast as the racing slick compounds that we use on dry circuits. So don't expect to see it be a massive issue. Tyre wear is not going to be the massive problem here, it's going to be fuel. So some of these drivers may be running different engine modes, engine mapping, potentially turning those engines down, which will reduce the fuel used and thus the power output as well, depending how aggressive their strategy may be. Of course, fuel saved means time saved in the pit stops. Some drivers like Fat Pickles Bro, Pilo did it with excellent effect last time out as well at Maggiore, converting that one-stop strategy into a good result. These drivers typically do very well at their fuel saving, so just making sure to drive as Greta Thunberg would approve. Meanwhile, at the top it's KB and Fabuki still, small gap between them, 1.3 seconds. You kind of get the feeling they're just matching each other lap for lap. B-rated though, at the moment, seems to be just holding with them. So between the top three drivers, just 2.5 seconds. 2 seconds further back from those though is LS Deno in the Mercedes, matching them roughly for lap time, but not really gaining on them too much. The problem with LS Deno at the moment is he's not getting the slipstream from any of the cars ahead. They're all slipstreaming each other. LS Deno is probably a little bit too far back to feel the benefits of that clean air being thrown off the back of the Citroen ahead, and instead he risks giving that slipstream to Total Rose. So in a bit of a difficult spot is LS Deno at the moment. He might just want to be on the blower to his engineer, asking if he's got the allocation on fuel to just push for a couple of laps and catch up to the Citroen ahead, just to save him being a bit of a sitting duck to the car behind, really. You've got Total Rose at P5 at the moment, is very much keeping Dano honest, but equally he's got Pilo for company. Pilo, you will remember, is on the intermediate tyre. Total Rose there just looks like he's burning a little bit of a penalty he may have picked up. Yeah, Pilo's got definitely got the toe of the Citroen ahead, but any moves here have got to be very carefully measured. Not easy to make a move at the Red Bull Ring at the best of times, let alone when it is absolutely sodden wet through like it is today. We are just starting to see the lower end drivers just start to drop off a little bit now, whether small incidents or not. He kept doing a great job on fuel saving. That Ferrari has probably saved more fuel than anybody else. KB has just started to put the hammer down that last lap, started to pull a little bit of a gap to Fabuki. B-rated then just starting to turn the screw a little bit on the McLaren driver. KB that lap picked up the fastest lap of the race so far, went 2 tenths quicker than he has all race, logging a 46.0. That dropped Fabuki back by about 7 tenths, so Fabuki now firmly out of the slipstream range, could potentially be vulnerable now to the Citroen of B-rated. LS Dano's not managed to catch up, but he's dropping Total Rose a little bit. Total Rose does have the immediate threat of a tag team of BMWs right behind him, and if he's not careful, and he's just commentator's curse there for Total Rose as he just breaks it a little bit deep going up to turn 3, manages to get back on the circuit just ahead of Icklepants. Will the BMW driver Echo Pants be smelling blood here? Let's have a little bit of a look. Total Rose will still have a little bit of dirt on those tyres, but manages to get the braking tidied up downhill. Just a little bit delayed on getting the throttle on. I'm not really too sure what happened there for Total Rose. Let's jump on board and have a very quick look. So this is coming up to turn 3, so your braking zone about 125 metres in these cars. Probably a little bit late there, in fairness, for Total. Yeah, it is a little bit late. It just goes deep. Goes deep into the corner. That does give Pilo the opportunity to slip one up the inside, and Echo Pants is all over him like a fat kid on a cupcake as well. And that BMW looking exceptionally threatening in the rear view mirror of the Citroen, but Total Rose just needs to hold his nerve, just keep to his game plan. Even if the BMW does get ahead, just slipstream him back again. You see there, the dirty tyres just paying him, just not really paying him any dues. Picks up a penalty. The rules with penalties, you're free to race with a penalty, but you're not allowed to run a penalty for any more than 2 laps. Fortunately, the Red Bull Ring, it's quite easy to get rid of them. And going up to turn 3, you can burn off half a second very easily. So Rose accumulates another little track cut penalty there, just for running it wide out of turn 1. Pants is going to sense the opportunity to slip a move up the inside. Doesn't actually go for it immediately, but does get that move made on exit. Citroen did have great traction coming out of the corner. Total Rose might be going from straight back again here. Does Echo Pants bother defending this one? He'll potentially squeeze him a little bit at the apex. Manages to keep it nice, tidied and controlled, and yeah, that's Echo Pants remaining in P6. Meanwhile, top of the grid, KB's gone a little bit faster as well, improves on his already fastest lap. What is it about Mercedes and fastest laps? Fabuki's no slouch either, pulling a gap to be rated of 2 seconds in the time since we last saw him. Most of these cars have got rid of around half their fuel tanks now, so looking at the time elapsed, yeah, we're going to be expecting probably a pit stop around 14-15 laps, something like that. Maybe a little bit earlier, depending on just how much fuel these guys can save in the second half of this stint. It's Fat Pickles both smelling an opportunity to get himself past Total Rose now. Citroen's still burning away a little bit of that penalty. He's still got another lap in which to completely get rid of it, and should be absolutely fine in doing so. We see Rick then trying to put the moves on Adam. Rick in the NSX getting the slipstream then as we go up to turn 3, but Adam got a great exit out of the first corner, and that might be a bit of a struggle then for Rick to get that move made. In fact, does get it nice and tidied up under braking, and gets a good exit though, the NSX. The Aston Martin gets a better one. Too early to comment on what strategies might be happening then. Just going to give P. Gibbs some kudos. Looking at his fuel, yeah, P. Gibbs playing the long game here. I mean, yeah, granted he's 11 seconds off Rick, but he's doing mighty fuel saving. Pretty much every car will one stop this. There's no point, there's no advantage to a 2-stop. You lose that much time in the pits here at Red Bull Ring. For a small circuit, it is a surprisingly long pit lane. So expect a pit stop at the very least to take around a minute. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're in a race like this where seconds and tenths count, spending an entire minute stationary, not an appealing thought to these drivers. Of course, if they all have to do it at least once, that at least makes it a little bit more of an attractive possibility. That's why we're probably seeing so much fuel saving going on throughout the field as well, on the basis of the less time the mechanics have to spend refueling the cars for the second stint of the race, the less time the pit stop's going to take. So just a nod there to KB's consistency. 46ers pretty much bang on the money every single lap. Same for Fubuki. B rated on 1 lap in the 47s, other than that he's been in the 46ers. So LS Deno probably had a little bit more of a struggle. He's had the occasional lap in the 47s. Probably the driver that might be struggling a little bit more with the either the conditions or the car. Mercedes then a lot of weight over that front axle. It's got a 6.3 litre V8 engine mounted over the front wheels. When you're dealing with wet weather, that's a lot of understeer to potentially counteract with your driving style. He seems to be doing a fine job of navigating that car around, of course, but that big gigantic engine will be causing him some potential grief there. So little bits of space in between all the cars as KB improves on his fastest lap, now dips into the 45s. It's pretty clear what his strategy is. He's not hanging about, neither is Fubuki. 4 seconds is the gap now between first and second place. B rating a further 2.5 seconds back, with LS Deno a further 2.5 seconds back. I've just heard the loudest clap of thunder. I don't know if anyone else has just heard that. I'd be very surprised if you didn't hear it. And I mean, wow, that was loud. Sound like Owen Wilson there, didn't it? Wow. Anyway, back to the racing, Chris. That's what you're here to commentate on. I've got to be honest with you, it's a little bit. Everyone's just sort of treating this race with kid gloves at the minute, and I'll be honest, they kind of have to. The phase of the race they're in at the moment, so we're 17, nearest makes a difference. 20 minutes in, so we are approaching the halfway point. I'm gonna start expecting a few pit stops to start happening. Lap 12 onwards, I'd say, is the pit window. Yeah, we'll see what these guys choose to do. I did speak to the race organisers earlier in the week, and they told me there's no requirement to use 2 different compounds of tyre. So there's no requirement for the teams, whereas in the dry races they have to run the prime and the optional tyre, so they have to run 2 different compounds essentially. Whereas in wet weather races, as is with Formula 1 as well, those rules go out the window and you can just run what you want. You can run intermediates, you can run full wets, you can run slicks if the mood takes you. Kind of depends on how big your gentleman's is, I guess. So if a driver's on intermediates, that's not to say that they're going on to the wets next. That's not the way it's destined to happen. P-Gib, after, I want to say P-Gib's just had an incident somewhere, because he's not really falling back from Rick any further. He's not even gone for half a tank of fuel yet in that Ferrari, whereas some drivers are approaching 30-40%. So yeah, again, and I'll tell you what, this just speaks to the calibre of driver we've barely seen any mistakes being made by these drivers. We saw Total Rose go deep at turn 3, that's about it. Yeah, that's about it. I think P-Gib must have had something somewhere that we didn't catch. Can you blame him, to be fair, if that happened? But yeah, it's turning into a bit of an odd one. Fubuki was purple sector 1. He just loses a little bit of time in the middle sector to KB. KB now stretching that advantage to 5 seconds now. Fabuki stretching his advantage over B-Rated to 3 seconds. B-Rated has pulled time over LS Deno, so that gap is now 2.5 seconds. LS Dano equally isn't being caught by the BMWs. The BMWs just playing the team game right now. They're not really being caught by Total Rose at the moment. Total Rose does have a Fat Picklesworth company. Thunder's there again. This feels like a bassy shake. Well, let's just jump on board with the Aston Martin then. Fat Pickles Rose, he chases down the Citroen of Total Rose. It's nice and tidy on the brakes, just starting to taper the brake off as you take the apex. Slowly but surely on the power then. You can see the skies are starting to clear here at Spielberg, but we are still getting rain. There are still rain clouds overhead. There's enough sort of standing water on the circuit still to I mean we're definitely in for wet running throughout the entire race as we do start to approach the midway point now. A couple more laps and we will for sure be there. No one has pulled the trigger on a pit stop yet. I did sort of predict the pit window would be open from sort of lap 12 onwards. As Total Rose is the first driver to make a pit stop. Don't know if anyone else is going to bother. I'm just going to put my keyboard down a minute. I'm just going to walk away from my monitor. I need to go and have a look outside. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, there's some very conspicuous clouds hanging over my house at the moment. The weather has been a little bit odd. I think you will agree if you live in England at the moment. It's been very bipolar. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We have got thunder and lightning. I've just seen a massive flash of lightning. Oh, I do love thunder and lightning. I love it. I love it. I love it. Anyway. I'll stop doing my weatherman impression. So, Total Rose. Plumb at last after that pit stop. It does cost you quite a fair amount of time a pit stop here at the Red Bull Ring, and Total Rose has stuck a fresh set of the wet tyre on, and he's now going to the end of the race. No one else really wanting to pull the trigger just yet. Everyone else probably feels it might just be a little bit too early. I'll be honest, I think Total Rose here might have been just trying to get that undercut. Some of the drivers' times, just looking through the times, like we are starting to now see the tyre drop off. So those on the intermediates just starting to just lose it a little bit. I say that as KB sets a bloody purple set, but some of them are just starting to drop a little bit. Could be down to mistakes, but it could be down to the fact that these tyres wow. Yeah, I've been advised, ladies and gents, there's been a power cut near my house. So if this stream suddenly stops, you know why? Because the power's just got out. There's been a big power cut in my area. Jeez Louise. Right. You can probably hear the rain. I'm inside right now. I'm willing to bet you can hear the rain. Wow. No further drivers pulling the trigger on this pit stop then, so delaying it as much as possible. They might just be drilling their, getting the fuel tanks dry. So Icklepants pits, he's got a quarter of a tank left. Again, that should mean his pit stop's relatively short. So this is where we'll see the benefit of those pit stops. P. Gibb saying that the track feels more grippy than Friday. Yeah, that was it's because of the settings we won. So because the track settings are different. What do I mean by that? I mean, yeah, because they might be running a different grip setting. I might actually go and check that, because we use what we call real grip, which basically just tells Gran Turismo Sport, just make the grip as realistic as possible, and they do a horrible job of it. In fact, I'm just going to dip out and check what it is. Let's have a look. Oh no, it's real. It's real on this. They've just got different fuel and tyre wear and all that sort of stuff. So every single lobby will have slightly different settings to go off. Right, so KB Fabuki stringing it out for another lap. We're going to start to see a string of people in the pits now as B-rated comes in. LS Deno is going to carry on. Done a good job of fuel saving in that Merc. So is Pilo in the BMW. Fat Pickles Bro. Yeah, he's carrying on. Adam, he's done a good job on fuel as well. He can probably carry on for another lap if he feels the Inters have still got the pace. Rick is going to come in now, so yeah, bang, close to the race, so different halfway. So P. Gibb and Icklepants are both drivers that have... Oh no, P. Gibb hasn't pitted yet, but look at the amount of fuel he's got. He can just keep going if he wants to. And then Total Rose, who pitted earlier on, so he'll start to come back into it now. Now of course everyone else is pitting, because the pit stops do cost you an acre of time. I'm just flicking through. Yeah, no one else pulling that trigger just yet, but the Mercedes and McLaren pit crews are going to have to come out and get ready. KB though on 16 lap old tyres sets a purple second sector, fastest of anyone so far in the race. Just shows you the amount of pace this kid's got. So yeah, he's flying. Oh my god, yeah, this storm's overhead now. My sweet Jesus. Oh, I love storms. I love them. So everyone pits in. KB's got 1 litre of fuel remaining. Sorry, Fabuki's got 1 litre of fuel remaining. KB's got 3. LS Deno is going to carry on. Shadow, how you doing? That rattled. Yeah, what is rattled here? It's overhead, isn't it? Whatever it is. Dog next door's going absolutely ballistic. And I've got a very oversized headset on. I can still hear it. I love a storm. Yeah, number 1. The skeleton in the closet, it's going to be Mr. P. Gibb. Have you seen the thunder? Great spelling there, Dylan. Yeah, I haven't seen the thunder because you can't see thunder. But I've heard it, mate. I've heard it. And I've seen the lightning. Yeah, mate. So what's P. Gibb going to do here then? Now, obviously, he's still got quarter of a tank's worth of fuel on board. Ain't enough to get him to the end of the race. He's going to have to pit, I think. Thunder. There we go, mate. So, yeah, LS Deno and Pilo come into the pits. So it's going to be interesting to see where these guys come out. Obviously, their pit stops are going to be a little bit. Well, they basically just managed to go a little bit longer into the race. Can I join? No, because it's a league race, mate. Soz. It's not a. Plus, haven't you in your power cut out? In your power out over there. Storm sounds like it's past now, anyway. Yeah, it's a league race, dude. Alright then, so KB reassumes the lead of the race. Fabuki will reassume second place. P. Gibb 92, the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, P3 in the Infinity GT Manufacturers Series so far. Absolutely, I mean, he's not pitted, like, he's not made a pit stop yet. Well, he's still got quarter of a tank of fuel left. That Ferrari's running on fuel. I bet he's turned that thing right down. Will it explain his lap times? That will be in, like, comfort mode, that will. But, you know, it might pay off for him in the end, and say he's jumped in with no practice, doing a grand job. So LS Deno then, through good strategy early on, has leapfrogged B-rated. So B-rated in the Citroen, now out on the wet tyres again. Like we said, once those tyres are up to temperature and working, they are an effective tyre. Pilo and Nickel pants, they're still pretty much tied together. Not where you are. Ah, right. I'm sure. Your mum said that power was out. Damn. It's a shame the storm stopped. Anyway, I'll stop this one turning into the weather channel, and let's actually just get back to some racing now. We've got 17 minutes of this one remaining. It's starting to get a little bit more spicy, so we've got KB 3 seconds in the lead. Then we've got Fabuki. He's got a little bit of a gap now over P. Gibb. It's going to be a little bit of a question, I guess, as to what P. Gibb does strategy-wise. Yeah, it came back on, fair enough. He's not going to be able to stretch that 16 minutes. No way. Can't do it. Can't be done. So he's going to have to come in, but it will just be a splash and a dash. That's all it'll be. His pit stop won't be anywhere near as long as everyone else's will be. Don't know where it'll put him, like, but and the good news for some of these guys is that there's a big battle for sort of fourth kicking off now. We've got 4 cars involved in this one. So we've got Deno, B-rated, Pilo and Ickle Pants. So these guys are going to be starting to just battle it out now. I fully expect everyone now to be going to the end of the race. I'm not expecting any more pit stops. I certainly shouldn't need any, looking at fuel levels on everyone's cars and stuff, so we should be absolutely golden. There's a quarter of an hour remaining to decide the outcome of this one. So at the minute it's KB, Fabuki and P. Gibb, but I'm fully expecting P. Gibb just to peel that car off into the pits soon. Trying to predict where it will come out, it's quite difficult to see where it might come out. Unless he's just going to try. You can't take like that amount of fuel. You can't be done, mate. Hunty, I'm good, mate, I'm good. Feeling a lot better, mate. Feeling a lot better. Hope you are well too, mate. I don't know what that is, Hunty. I don't know what bits are. I've no idea. I wish I knew, but thank you, because I've no idea what they are, man. I'm assuming it's good, because otherwise it wouldn't make that little shiny animation it's doing on my screen. But either way, thank you, man. You can tell I'm still very naive with this streaming thing. I don't really take it too seriously. Bits is away. Oh mate, seriously? Is that what it is? Oh, thanks man. I genuinely didn't know that's what it was. Thank you, mate. Sorry about that, my controller did the old yeah, my controller did the old, oh, I'm just going to disconnect midstream. Thanks, man. No, I appreciate that. I'll have a beverage in your honour next time I visit a pub. I've got my bits out. You might want to reword that. Oh, you starting? What's your new job, man? I'll have to drop by one of your streams soon and we'll have a chat and a catch up. So, getting close. Well, has this battle for fourth kicking off? I mean, this technically is going to be a battle for third actually, because Pete Gibb, the Ferrari, he's going to have to pit soon. Deno's currently leading that fight. It's still B-rated. In fifth with Pilo and Ecclepants still holding position. We've got Fat Picklesbro in 8th, Totoro's in 9th, Adam in 10th and Rick in 11th at the moment. KB's pulling out a gap at the top. Fabuki's holding P2 nice and strong. Yeah, well, oh no worries man, yeah, well the market's coming back for that, innit? So you'll actually have a job, per se. So you have work to do now. Alright, so what does Gibbo do? What's going through that man's head? He's literally just going to splash and dash this, isn't he? In fact, he might not even change tyres. That'll save him a few seconds. How much more tyre wear is he going to get in the next 12 minutes? You know what I mean? That's of course up to him. As far as I'm aware, a tyre change isn't necessary, but hey, we'll see. Alright, so in comes a Ferrari then. Pits from third. That's going to promote Deno into a podium position, so looking like another Ham-Ver-Bot situation with the Mercedes. Mercedes podium currently B-rated is of course looking to spoil that party. Creeping ever closer, the Citroen, just looking like he's just waiting for the opportunity to pull the trigger. Nice and patient work here from B-rated. He just parked behind the Mercedes. At the minute he doesn't necessarily have to worry too much because the BMWs aren't necessarily pushing too hard from behind, really. Sorry, I've just read a notification on my phone that I wasn't expecting. Anyone that gets news updates on their phone might know what I'm on about. But yeah, that was it's a sad story to read. Jesus. I'm not going to read it out on stream, but Jesus, it's not pleasant. Oh, P-Gibby comes out in last place. But it comes out in last place, but significantly closer than to the Honda of Rick. So if Peel Gibb can peel himself off the bottom standings, I think he'll actually be quite happy with that. So this battle for P3, this is where it's at then. Dano's got 10 minutes just to hold on to this. B-rated has been an eternal nuisance in his rearview mirror ever since the pit stop phase, really. He's been looking at this. B-rated one's wide there. He's going to pick a penalty up for that. You won't see that here, but when we flick to B-rated's car, the penalty will display. There we go, he's got a second penalty. Now don't get me wrong, he's got a while to get rid of that. He's got 2 laps, and at Red Bull Ring the penalties do naturally sort of ebb away quite nicely anyway, so it's not a major concern. It's just something he's going to have to think about. Yeah, I noticed you've upped the ante on streaming, mate. I noticed that. Yeah, well, as you read, I'm after this season, I'm taking a break. So I noticed you kind of did that, and I think you need to every now and again. Otherwise, it burns you out. The only alternative is if it's paying you a good wage, you treat it like a job. I can't treat it like a job because it doesn't pay me anything. You know what I mean? I can't have that mentality with it. Therefore, then when it stops being any fun, you know what I mean? That for me, then my sort of moral investment in it's sort of gone, really. Cheers for the bits earlier, mate. Well, I'm sure Twitch will email me something about that. 'Cause when you subscribed the other month, I got an email telling me what it meant. Still none the wiser, like. Still don't know how it actually pays out, because I'm pretty sure it's not paying me anything. I should, you read that thing about hot tub street. I should get that. I should do that, should I? Just get like a mankini on and just sit in a hot tub and get everyone to donate loads of money to it. That's what I should do, man. Yeah, the rebrand works, mate. It's a bit more generic. It then means you're not tied to. You're not tied. You weren't anyway, really, in the first place, but you're not. You advertise yourself more as a generic sort of gamer, and this is hot right now. I'm going to play it and just play what you want, really, rather than feeling like you have to do an ACC stream, a GT Sports stream. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get myself a PC, dude. So I can just, and to be fair, that's more just for my personal benefit. Play a few more different games and have a bit more fun with it, I guess. Alright, so we're closing in on the end of the race. 7 minutes remain. There's still plenty of opportunity for things to happen in this one as Fabuki goes purple in Sector 2. He's done that before though, and he's ended up losing the time in Sector 3. Took a few laps in qualifying to get this McLaren into the zone, but once he got it there, he was probably one of the fastest people on track. So sincerely good effort from Fabuki today. Getting anywhere near the German, as we affectionately call KB. A grand job from him so far. 5.5 seconds ahead of anyone else. Fabuki holding a 12-second lead over his Mercedes teammate. The good news for Deno though, he's managed to drop B-rated. So B-rated now for 1.5 seconds back. Fourth. Yeah, we'll do a collab, mate. I'll come up to Hull, and me and you will do a hot tub stream. Sound good? I'll get some speedos off Amazon. Yeah, we'll do it, mate. I'm up for that. Yeah, how long before we just get deleted from the internet though, you know what I mean? It won't end well, will it? While we've just closing in at the end of the race, this is where people watching on YouTube will probably skip to watch the last few minutes, so it's a good place to introduce this bit. Of course, this is the Infinity GT Manufacturers Series, hosted and ran by the good people over at SimFx. This is in its 5th season now, and in its 5th season in collaboration this time around with WeAreDriven. Please do go and check them out on Facebook. There will be a link in the description of the video if you're watching this on YouTube. Just search WeAreDriven though and it should come up. Essentially what WeAreDriven is, it's the sim racing community pulling together in support of charities, organisations, movements that we can get behind and support, and as a community do good. And that's what we want to do. So this league is partnering with It's Okay Not to Be Okay, mental health charity. Again, I will link them in the description of the video. Please do go and check out the page. 1 in 4 adults at some point in their life, and I actually think that statistic is higher in real life, just because of what we see on a daily basis. But 1.4 adults will at some point in their life suffer some form of mental health issue. The stigma around talking about it has been rife in the community, well, not in the community but in general. People seemingly think it's not a manly thing to do, to talk about your emotions and how things make you feel. I'm definitely guilty of that. I will hold my hands up on more than one occasion, having gone through a number of losing close people to me and stuff like that, and a vast number of times I've just bottled it up, and it's come back to haunt me later on. Still dealing with that now. I would encourage anyone that is not feeling themselves or just feels like they want to talk, just to blooming well do it. There's lots of anonymous things going on. There's people you can call, you can even text people now, you can do web chats, all sorts, just to have that conversation, get it off your chest, get some support, get some help. Of course, the sim racing community very, very, very glad to get behind that particular cause. You know, and make it more manly, a hot tub streaming speed. It would, man. Got the body of a dump truck. Yeah, well, I'm not much better at the minute, man. Like, lockdown was not kind. It was not kind to me at all. Well, I say lockdown wasn't kind to me. I wasn't kind to the fridge during lockdown. So a couple of little battles emerging then towards the close of this race. Fat Pickles Bro, Total Rose duking it out for P7 honours. We've still got that P4 battle going on, although it has simmered a little bit. So with a couple of laps remaining, as Fat Pickles Bro here has to go defensive coming up to turn 3. Potentially going a little bit deep. Total Rose gets the cut back. Lovely move there by the Citroen driver. Just does struggle getting the traction out of the corner, and it's gonna be a sprint down. Yeah, down to turn 4. The Total Rose kind of has to give the position back, but I might jump on board for a little bit of a recap of that. That was a lovely little move there. Oh, I didn't go back far enough. 1 minute. Let's go back another 8 seconds. Oh no. Sorry. This is... I am not Sky Sports. There we go. Yeah, just struggled getting the... Yeah, he just had a kick, didn't he, Total Rose, which is a shame, but he's right on the back end of Fat Pickles Bro now. He's absolutely on him. Yeah, Honey is all good, man. Like, everyone has. Won't sweat it. I wouldn't sweat it. So KB 45.5, fastest lap of the race so far. It's pole position, win and fastest lap. All he's got to do is finish this lap. I think this is going to be the last one now. Fabuki, solid P2 drive at the moment with LS Deno. Great start, held his nerve. Don't forget he didn't qualify that well, LS Deno. He was down a few rows back and got an absolute flyover start. He's had a bit more work to do than KB this race, but still picking up P3 honours and a double podium for the Mercedes team, so Toto will be happy. B-rated, one of my drives of the day, I'll be honest. He's absolutely been phenomenal today so far. Pilo and Ickle Pants, the BMW duo. Fat Pickles Bro, just Fat Pickles, these two are still fighting. P-Gib jumping in last minute as well for P-Gib. So let's have a look at KB as he comes across the line though to finish lap 28. A phenomenal drive by KB to bring home the win in race number 3. Setting the fastest lap on the very last lap of the race, 45.4. Fabuki, solid drive for P2. Good points yet again for Fabuki, a track where McLaren do typically struggle. LS Deno then, a 3rd place for the Mercedes driver, a great start and a great overall drive. Pilo eventually, B-rated ran out of fuel. B-rated ran out of fuel and he's dropped the 2. Oh my god, Pilo and Ickle Pants both got him at the line. B-rated ran out of fuel right at the end. Oh yeah, there he goes, look. Oh my days. That is bad luck for B-rated then. Fat Pickles Bro is going to just beat Total Rose to the line for P7. Adam going to finish in P9 in the other Aston Martin. The Astons have struggled for race pace today. Rick in the lowly Honda, his teammate not able to make today's race, and P-Gib standing last minute, had no practice, jumped in at the deep end bone dry and kept at it for the 50 minutes and yeah, great work. Got some stream, mate. That I was really cool. Did you turn your engine down at the start of the race? It'll explain a few things. that's all. You must have just like turned it like fuel map 3 or something all the way and short shifting. Yeah, a good race. I don't know where we are next week. I can't remember. But we're back in the GT3s next week, so tune in for that, because the GT3s, as you saw last night in the Lego Maggiore, well, it was right, yeah, map 4 for 20 minutes, map 2 for 10 minutes, map 1 the rest. Ah, right, okay. No wonder you saved so much goddamn fuel. No, but P-Gib, who cares? You had fun, you know what I mean? I think you did well, man. Yep, see you, Hunty. Thanks for the bits and everything, mate. Really do appreciate that. We will we'll have a proper catch up soon, mate. Hope you're well, and I will stop by one of your streams next time I can. No one saw me winning a Merc. Sorry, KB, but it's on stream. Do you need, if KB needs to delete the stream showing him winning a Merc, there's going to be a fee for that. I don't know. Mate, you did well, considering where you qualified and where you finished. You know, Fabuki had really good pace. Like, really good pace. So from where you qualified, mate, 3rd was the best you were going to get out of that, I think. I'll be honest, like, looking at the Fabuki and KB were pretty much matching each other for pace. After the 50 minutes, there was still only a few seconds between them, so... yeah. But it seemed weird though that the intermediates and wets didn't seem to have that much pace difference between them. Were they that different? His new favourite car. We'll have to get him like a little toy one, won't we? And send him like if we get Dave to sticker it up in buyaparcel.com stickers and send it him over. He'd have to put it out somewhere then, wouldn't he? Yeah. Mate, quali's always been my my weak point as well, so I do completely get it. You do normally do quite well in quali though. I've raced you. You're normally up there. Massive difference handling wise. Ah, right. It's yeah, right, fair enough. Fair point. Let's get him on. Yeah, you can get. I'm sure Dave will sticker it up. Gotta do something. I'm sure you can get like a one-piece sticker wrap or something. We'll figure something out. I'll have a word with Dave, see what he does. Anyway, I'm going to shut the stream down for now. Yeah, it was a good race, Dano. A little bit flat into. I expected it to be not a lot of action. I'll be honest. I kind of expected that coming into the race because everyone was just treating it with kid gloves. You know what I mean? Throughout the entire race, no one was really pushing all the way through it. Too risky. Oh no! But is it Nords next? Oh, next, guys, you need to tune in next week. Whatever happens, tune in next week because we've got Nürburgring. I'm sure it's at night as well. Yeah, it is. Nürburgring at night in GT3 cars. You need to come and watch that. 100%. Right, I'm logging the stream off before I get carried away. Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it. If you're watching this on YouTube, drop a little like. If you're watching this on Twitch, thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you next time. Take care of yourselves. Bye.